It's 5 p.m., you've been on your feet for 10 hours, you're covered in dust, you're tired, and the last thing you or your foreman want to do is sit at a laptop for 45 minutes to write a daily report. But what if that report was already finished, formatted, and saved before you even turn the key on your truck to head home? I know this pain from over 10 years on site, and today I'm going to show you how to move from messy site notes and forgotten details to fully automated system that works for you. We'll look at your current workflow, figure out which system fits your business, and I'll show you exactly how to implement it. Let's be real. Implementing a daily report process can save a business thousands and sometimes even up to millions depending on your size. We've all been there. A defect pops up, a delay claim hits your desk, and someone asks, what happened on Tuesday the 14th? If you can't find the records to prove what you did, whether right or wrong, you're on the hook. The problem is reporting sucks, it's boring, and that's not going to change. But what has changed is AI. We can now leverage AI to act as your administrative shadow. So when issues crop up months down the line, you have searchable professional records ready to go. It doesn't just protect your back, it makes you look like the most professional outfit on the job site. And before we implement the AI in the process, we have to look at how your team actually works, and because AI is now flexible enough to fit into your team's existing habits or the way you want those processes to be, not the other way around. So let's look at the 3 most common scenarios I see, and we'll start with process 1, and we're going to call this the memory method. This is where you rely on site visits and memory. You've got a random dump of photos on a phone that may or may not even be backed up, and so if that phone drops in a puddle, your history is gone. There's basically no process. Process 2 is what I'm going to call the WhatsApp chaos. Your team updates a group chat. It's a step in the right direction, but that data is trapped inside that group chat, and it's not easy to search, and it's not a formal record, but it's better than nothing. And then process 3 is what I'm going to call the 5 p.m. brain dump. This is where a foreman calls the PM at the end of the day. They talk through the safety, the progress, the issues, and the PM frantically tries to scribble notes. Half of it's forgotten by breakfast the next morning, and again, there's no formal record. Now, I want you to be honest with me right now. Drop a comment below. Are you team memory, team WhatsApp chaos, or team 5 p.m. brain dump? And let me know what mess you're dealing with. Now, let's jump in and fix the WhatsApp scenarios first. This is incredibly cool. You can actually have an AI monitor your group chat, and at the end of the day, it pulls the text, the photos, the updates, the voice notes, and organizes them into your company's branded template report, and then goes ahead and saves that automatically. So you can capture at least what's happened on site. Now, to use this, we use a tool called make.com, which is essentially a no-code connector. Think of it like the digital duct tape that connects tools like WhatsApp or Google Drive so that you don't have to move files yourself. And to prevent this video from being far too long, I'm going to quickly show you what that looks like. And be sure to drop a comment if you want me to make the full video on exactly how to set that up. So here we are. We're inside my Make account, and the WhatsApp one actually runs off 2 Make scenarios. So the first one we have here is our WhatsApp Business Cloud, which is connected to a number that sits inside the group chat. And what this does is watches for new messages. When they arrive, it puts them into a Google Sheet, which is purely for storage. Now, in reality, you'd use something more robust like Airtable, which is a proper data store that you would then pull from. But for this demo, I'm just going to use Google Sheets. So that stores all the messages for the day in there. And then the second one is triggered to run, say, daily at 6 p.m. And what this does is it brings out all the information from the messages that have come through that day. It aggregates it into one lump of text, not a bunch of messages. It sends it through a ChatGPT, a Gemini, any LLM you want, with a prompt to output a structured report in however you like it, however you want it to sound, and into a JSON format purely for structuring. Then this JSON module passes that so that it can then be added to a Google Doc structure, which can be in whichever format you want. And then what you get out the back is a report that looks something along the lines of this. And again, it can be set up to look exactly how your business works. Quick breather. This video is sponsored by my agency, Altaro. We help construction businesses adopt AI in a practical way, from finding the best use cases specifically for them to building the workflows and tools that actually make it stick. I've spent over 10 years on site as a project manager, so the solutions we build are made for the real world and not theory. If you want help specifically, there's a link in the description to book a call with myself. I'd love to have a chat. Now, let's get back to the video. Now, what about the 5 p.m. phone call? Well, voice AI has reached a point where it sounds and understands just like a human. This is the superpower for a foreman who hates typing. In this setup, the foreman calls a dedicated number, and on the other end is an AI voice agent. The tool I use for this is called Retell, and the agent is programmed to ask some specific questions which you decide and match your workflow and the information you want. Things like, what was the main focus for today? What were the deliveries? Were there any safety scares? Now I'm going to jump in and quickly show you exactly what that looks like. And again, comment if you want to see the full setup for that. So this is my Retell account, which is essentially the voice agent that runs when the foreman calls that number. And what you can see is it's just a prompt that is giving the agent custom instructions on exactly how it should be responding and what information it wants to get out of the foreman. And then once it hangs up, or the foreman hangs up, then we have a function here which sends all that information through to a make.com setup again. So we jump into the make scenario. It's very simple again. This is the webhook that connects to Retell. It then stores that in a Google Sheet. Again, I've done that for simplicity for now, but in reality, you'd use something like Airtable as a data store. And then the same process, it sends that through a ChatGPT, whichever LLM you prefer, to take in what's happened for the day and output the report in the format you'd like. Again, in JSON for structure, it passes that through and puts it into a Google Doc and creates basically exactly the same thing, which can look and feel however like your business runs. All this automatically. Super cool. I've actually done a full video on a demo for this, so if that interests you, I'll put the link down in the description and you can check out exactly how this works. And finally, if you're currently doing nothing and want to start today, you don't need a fancy automation yet. You can A, reach out to us and we can set this all up for you, or B, use a software like the one I created called Traxed. This is the best for sort of the trade industry, and the link to that is in the description, so be sure to check it out. This isn't just about daily reports as well. This logic applies to every leaky process in your business. Let's say taking change orders and recognizing them. Like if a foreman flags a change order in WhatsApp, the AI can detect that and draft the change order document and alert the PM. Missing just one change order can cost you thousands in profit. And the same goes for material tracking. Take a photo of a delivery docket and the AI can log the quantities. The goal of this is to get admin out of your team's way so they can focus on building. And there's a number of ways to level these solutions up, with things like adding project context to the reporting section, giving it a knowledge base, a RAG agent. There's so much you can do to make this the ultimate assistant, and ultimately the more context you give it, the better it's going to be. So drop any questions you have in the comments or feel free to book a call. I'm incredibly passionate about this because I've seen how much air it gives a business when they stop drowning in paperwork. Now, if you want specific help looking at your processes and implementing these kind of workflows, I've put a link in the description to book a free consultation. We can sit down, look at your current situation, and build a plan and a system that works for you. And comment below, what's the administrative task you wish you could just voice note away? I'd love to hear your ideas, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.